What's up, guys? I'm here with Devil's Night director Anthony Risen. Anthony, thanks for stepping on here to chat with me for a little bit.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man.
Yeah. So talk to me about Devil's Night. Just take me back to how it all began, where you came up with the concept.
Uh, Basically, I guess the influence was kind of Fright Night combined with Are You Afraid of the Dark? Basically, is kind of the vibes I was going for. But originally, it was actually supposed to be just like kind of a proof of concept type of thing for a feature idea that I had, which is completely different than the short. Like it changed over time, but originally it was supposed to be about a cannibalistic witch, which would have been a lot more interesting. But I really wasn't from Minnesota, so I was just kind of testing the waters out there with Devil's Night, basically. But yeah, I made it in Minnesota and just wanted to kind of get familiar with the crews out there because at the time I thought I was going to be out there for a lot longer.
Okay. Yeah, it also had I had like a little bit of a Monster Squad vibe with it as well.
Yeah,
Oh,
definitely.
and yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, there was something else that, well, it was Monster Squad that it made me think of. And then for me, I'm from Ohio. So when I was a teenager, we were toilet papering people's houses all summer long.
Yeah, same here, man. We were like egging things and the soaping the windows, that was, we didn't actually do that, but that was, I guess that's a pretty common thing that kids used to do in like the 80s. I thought it would just be a cool, like little throwback to some of the people that are maybe a generation older than me, you know?
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I definitely love Monster Squad though.
Yeah, it was fun at the end when they kind of come through and save their buddy. They were like prepared with all their devices.
Right.
Yeah,
it's definitely playful horror. It's not like anything too crazy, but I like, like fun horror, like Army of Darkness, Evil Dead 2, that type of stuff. It's fun to me. Like the one I just got done shooting, Parasite in the Park. It's similar to a Monster Squad vibe as well. I don't know why I always work with kids, but it seems like a good idea when I'm writing the script. But
totally. I mean, still to this day, one of my favorite movies is Hocus Pocus.
I think it's kind of cool just looking through the kid's eyes or like a kid's perspective at the world, especially in situations that an adult would probably freak out about as well. It's cool to kind of look through their eyes because everything is new to them and they're almost like fearless sometimes because of their naivety.
Yeah, the older we get, we've seen too many scary movies.
Exactly, but
we know not to go with it.
Sometimes the kids are more educated on scary movies though than adults. At least I was when I was a kid.
Yeah. Well, what led you into filmmaking?
Well, I had like a friend that was the model, and she got cast as like a lead in a horror film, and for whatever reason, something just like clicked because it never occurred to me like before that like you could ever do movies, like unless you're maybe in like Hollywood or whatever. But whatever clicked in my head just like threw me down a rabbit hole 100 miles an hour, and I just never looked back, basically.
Were you young when you started making films?
No, it was like that was not was the first thing I ever did, like ever, like at all.
Really?
Yeah. So it was like a really cool experience because it was actually like a full crew, all that stuff, and I worked with a writer, so it was like a co-writing thing with a more experienced writer, and the whole process was a really cool fast track to learning filmmaking. And a bit of advice like I got early on, like when I very first started, I watched The Director's Chair with Robert Rodriguez. I don't know if you're familiar with that show.
Not the show actually, but yeah.
it's awesome. You should definitely check it out. Basically, Robert just interviews other directors, and he was talking to Sylvester Stallone and Mel Gibson, and both of them said if you want to get film, all you have to do really is hire people that are good at what they do, and they will bring your vision to life in a professional way because you're working with professionals. But and that's kind of the route I took immediately. Obviously I did like the shitty videos that I will never show anybody, that type of stuff. But like when I went to do Devil's Night, I just wanted to be legit about it. So it's kind of
Yeah. Well, it comes across. I mean, was Devil's Night one of the first things that you had done, or have you done many more shorts before Devil's Night?
no, that was the very first short I ever
That was the
did.
first one. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. So you didn't go
Thank
to
you.
film school?
No.
Yeah.
Like I said, it was just like the rabbit hole thing, man. And it was basically like 7 years ago. I don't know where YouTube was at that time, but basically you can learn anything online nowadays. So that's the route I took. I watched shows like Film Riot. That was a really, really big one that really, really helped me. Are you familiar with those guys? Yeah.
No.
Those guys.
Are they on YouTube?
Yeah, they're one of the best filmmaking YouTube channels
Definitely
out
check
there.
that out. That's what I tell everyone all the time. I'm like, I went to film school. It was in 2007. Left Ohio to go to film school, but once you're there and you're doing the whole thing, you're like, do I need to be here? And then you get out and you're working with so many people who just started working. And I think that's the thing about this industry is film school will be good for connections if that's the route that you want to go, but or you can just start working and get in that way. So
Right.
I don't know. I'm not really like a college. I don't suggest people go to college if they want to do things in the arts sometimes.
Well, there's other ways to network as well, because I mean that's always the argument, right? Like if you go to film school, you're gonna end up with a network of people you can work with. But at the same time, social media makes it to where you have access to anybody basically. So when I had Chris Ballas, he's like a big effects guy, and he helped us on Devil's Night, and I just hit him up on Facebook, just like seeing if he was interested, and he was available and down because he knew the other dude that was helping. So it was super easy. Like you can network like that though, is basically what I'm saying. Like there's other ways to network. True. And I had another friend that went to Full Sail. It's really a legit school. Like if I went to a film school, that'd probably be the one that I'd choose. But he got out of like that whole schooling system, whatever they do there. I don't really know how they do it, but it felt like he had this idea drilled in his head that you needed certain things in order to do like a film. And he had these prices blocked in, like I need $80,000 to do this, blah, blah, blah. And I always thought that was bullshit, basically because I didn't know anything about filmmaking first off. So I didn't know what those numbers even meant. But to me, that was like, why the fuck would you need $80,000 to make a documentary about a guy doing, because we were talking about doing a documentary. I'm an MMA fighter, so I was gonna do like fights and just like walk across the country, and he basically threw like $80,000 on me. I'm like, dude, I could probably film that myself. I don't actually even need you. Why do you need $80,000? And I don't know. That's that film school mentality that I kind of hate. But.
Yeah, man, it's like teaching you how to operate within like the business that they've created for themselves, and then the people who can go out and just do it on a shoestring or just do it themselves and come out with something creative, you're always going to win, or at least show the fact that you can pull something off more creatively that just doesn't take a lot of money. Full Sail owned my film school, so Full Sail, I went to Los Angeles Film School. So yeah, we had kind of probably a similar type schooling model, I would assume. But I came out and threw everything out. I was like, I don't, yeah.
I'm not totally against it. Like you're obviously learning everything you need to know because they're just doing it on a big budget level, and when you get out of film school, you don't have big budgets, so you're basically kind of learning all over again. But
Yeah. When I was in film school, the first iPhone came out. So like, yeah, there was no way to network. There was, yes, there was, but not as easily as going on, Facebook or Instagram and just sending someone a message and connecting. It's incredible. I've also connected with people that way. I'm all for it. For people to, everyone seems like, I don't know if 6 degrees of separation is a thing anymore. I feel like it's like 2 degrees.
yeah,
Because you can go on and send a message to someone. I mean, I do it all the time for marketing and just reaching out to people and seeing if they'd want to participate in a film release, and they often do. So
yeah.
it's pretty crazy how that world's changed. Where are you living now?
I'm in Los Angeles now. I've been out here for going on 3 years, and honestly, it's been amazing. Like, I've been able, because obviously the bigger names are out here, so I've had opportunities to work with some really, really cool people, and by working with these bigger budget films, that I'm obviously learning a bunch of stuff. So I just got done shooting that one like a couple months ago, and it's 30 minutes long, but kind of inching my way towards that feature, but also like learning every day. Like, I'm a full-time filmmaker now, so it's a really cool being out in LA, I think, compared to being in Minnesota where I was before, working like a welding job, and I fucking hated that so much.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing about LA and the major cities that are more entertainment centric is there is access to everything, always,
Yeah.
for filmmaking or music or anything really for the arts, whereas like smaller places, smaller cities don't have that. How has Los Angeles been? Have you been working a lot with COVID?
Yeah, it's been pretty consistent. I mean, during like the thick of it, it was like nobody was really doing anything. But lately, uh, things have been picking up quite a bit. I've probably gotten, I don't even know, 80 COVID tests by now, because they test you so much on set. I got one COVID test right by Lady Gaga, which was kind of funny.
That's funny. Were you working on a music video or a film?
It was for the MTV VMAs,
Cool.
which is a really fun project. You
I
never
worked
know
on,
what you're going
yeah, I worked on the Poker Face music video long
Nice.
time ago. Probably, I don't know when that was, 2010 maybe. I don't know. It was so long. I mean, that was kind of like her first video. I was in the camera department,
That's
and
awesome, man.
I could
I'm
just
actually a
like,
fan of her.
oh, she's incredible. And I remember, in a music video, right? You hear the song like so many times, and I was just like, this shit is going to be huge, whatever this is, because I didn't know about her yet. That was kind of like the first one that just launched her career, and I just, you can just tell that energy is crazy. Being on
For
music
sure.
videos was one of my favorite things to do.
Also acting though too, like A Star Is Born. Shit, that was legit. I like
Oh
that.
yeah, yeah.
But
Have you seen all the other ones?
all her other films,
No,
I
all the
haven't
other
seen.
Star Is Born. There've been like 4 or 5 of them, I think. It was
Oh
actually,
no, I
it
haven't.
was a remake of a remake of a remake. The original was, I think, in like the 40s or 50s.
Oh, got you. I only seen the Bradley Cooper Lady
Nice,
Gaga one.
yeah, the best one. So yeah, what's going on with Parasite in the Park? Is that something that we might be able to see?
Absolutely. I mean, it'll be a little while, because there's a lot of visual effects stuff, and I just moved into this place, so kind of catching back up on money and stuff. So it's a little bit of a roadblock, but
Yeah.
it's turning out to be pretty cool. The editor I'm working with is the editor from the Netflix show like Narcos and Brooklyn Nine-Nine. So
Oh my gosh.
it was like,
I love
it's
those.
always these, yeah, exactly. Well, Narcos is super awesome. I love that show. But it's always so random, like the people you can get involved in projects if you like really put in the work to do background checks on people, because everyone can send their reels and stuff. But I really like to look at the people and kind of get to know who they are, you know. And 'cause you're with them so much, you kind of want to get along with them. But
You seem
he's
like
awesome.
you're a really great networker. How do you do it? What's your method? Do you just go stand at a coffee shop, say hey to everybody?
Not really. I'm active on like almost every filmmaking site, kind of just putting myself out there. Like that's what you have to do. You have to put yourself in front of people. Otherwise, you're never going to be seen, because there's so many other people that want to be seen as well. So I look for things that I like that people have done, and then I kind of reach out to them, usually on social media, but sometimes I'll just put job posts up, and sometimes you just find these amazing people that are looking for work randomly, because everyone has bills they have to pay, even if they're working on really big things. You know?
That's awesome. How do you like working with VFX artists? I feel like you're someone who
Um,
would thrive with like a good VFX artist and just make things.
I mean, I'm a practical effects guy, so like I I love the combination of the two, because you always need to clean up some of the effects on the practical stuff, whether it be like little scenes, or if you want more blood or whatever, you know, you can just always make it better with visual effects. But this
Yeah.
one, it's more like I'm really doing like some more like painting stuff, I guess I would say. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's kind of a headache actually, but
Oh yeah. I mean, I did a lot of VFX for this virtual reality company that I had, and it's arduous. It's such a it can be such a painful process, but the end
I
result will
kind
be
of
amazing.
exactly. I mean, like once you see like what they do, it's like, wow, you can basically do anything nowadays. You can repaint your whole entire shot if you really want to.
I
I
know.
love it. I just wish I had like a visual effects supervisor to kind of handle all the redundant questions, you know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, you can make worlds out of nothing. And I'm like, there was this shot in North by Northwest. Have you seen that movie?
I don't think so.
Alfred Hitchcock movie. He runs into the United Nations, and it looks like he's running through this building. But what they did was they had a piece of glass on the lens, and they painted the outline of this whole interior, and they had people walking that would have fit, like, so if there was two stories, they had someone walking in the depth of the lens, so it looked like they were walking upstairs, and that's how they created this world when it was just a blank room. Like
Right.
how far we've come, you know, and
It sounds
from
so complicated
so
compared to just
complicated.
sitting in front of a green screen or something.
Yeah, exactly. So, well, what do you got next? You just shot this film, and then are you working on a feature?
Trying to. There's like a interested producer in a film that I have called Animus Blood. It's basically it's not copyrighted, so I don't know how much I want to say yet. But it's got monsters and martial arts and stuff like that. But it's not like the corny type of martial arts and monsters thing, you know, like Mortal Kombat. It's more like real and kind of more real world feel, I guess.
Have
But
you written the script?
yeah, we have a completed script, but I want to get a rewrite done by Anthony Johnston. He's the writer creator of Atomic Blonde.
Yep.
He's that one. Yeah, he was interested in rewriting it, but we're kind of just working out financial things, and he's down to do it for pretty cheap, but I don't have the money right now, so I personally
Awesome.
can't pay him. But yeah, it's I'm really hoping that one gets off the ground, because I do think people would really like that one. I've got like a pitch deck and everything for it. If anybody's
Cool.
interested. But,
Well, I'll always cranked up. I can sign an NDA and take a look at anything that you have. So we're always looking to put together our slate. We basically stopped all production until at least fall of this year, just because we wanted to wait everything out. So playing a little catch up. So we're trying to put together a slate for 2022. So we can talk offline more about these projects if you want.
for sure. There's another producer that could probably back you guys. I mean, obviously, the first one in is the hardest, right?
Yeah.
That's always the hardest one. But once you get one, usually it's really easy to get another one. He's a producer at NBC and Universal that's interested as well.
Awesome.
Maybe. I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah. Well, I feel like from the short film that we showed, Devil's Night, and just like talking with you, I can see you having a really awesome career. You seem like a really cool director and a creative person. So I'm excited to see Parasite in the park and what else you have too. So we'll talk offline about some more projects.
I can send you a scene of Parasite as well.
Cool.
It stars Tuesday Night, which is the girl in Nightmare on Elm Street 4.
Mm-hmm.
She's awesome.
Awesome. Are you going to sign up for a bunch of festivals with that one?
Yeah, probably.
Awesome.
That's what I did with Devil's Night. It went all over the world. We had some Russian subtitles from the film festival.
Yeah, like the festivals where everything gets picked up. It's where like people get launched. So
yeah. I mean, I mainly did like the festival thing for the crew, because I just wanted the laurels to kind of like justify their hard work a little bit, you know. Obviously, that stuff cost me money, like submitting to festivals and stuff is expensive. So personally, I wouldn't have done it if I didn't want to just show support for them. But
yeah,
it's always good to kind of like let people know, like, hey, your hard work is worth it, you know. So.
Totally. Yeah, I mean, I've done that with filmmakers too. Like I've had people stay up all night long, and I was like, look, this is gonna hurt for the next month, but if we get into Sundance, everyone's going, and we did. And I took the people who were staying up all night.
Nice.
It had a blast.
I've never been to Sundance, but
it's fun.
I've actually only been to a couple of festivals. I didn't really get to attend very many of the Devil's Night ones because they were just so random all over.
Mm-hmm. Well, if Parasite in the Park takes a couple months to finish, you can submit it to Sundance for the midnight horror shorts.
Maybe that'd be cool. Well, I kind of just don't want to get my hopes up or nothing like that.
Nah, we're not there yet. You got to finish the film.
Right.
Well, man, it was great to chat with you. I appreciate you coming on here and discussing your film with me, and it's been awesome premiering Devil's Night on our channel.
Yeah, man, for sure.
All right, Anthony, I'll talk to you soon.
Peace.
All right, see you, man.
Yeah.